This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Well, what a week. Since I spoke to you a week ago, what a week have we had. Now then, I did promise a month ago now that if we signed Jay Stansfield, then all my all the shortcomings of our owners, like getting rid of good managers, signing bad ones, signing old ones, and signing desperate ones, and the same with players, would be expunged. All is forgiven, and I'm sticking to that. So Friday afternoon, the Sky News was sensing that Stansfield signing could have been a possibility. Now I was informed by somebody, and I don't know who it was, that the deal would be done on deadline day, and that was a month ago as well. And the nearer we got to it, the more and more, because it wouldn't go away. Even their manager who says, "Oh, he's part of our plans. He's not going anywhere." Even he had to eventually shut up. And the pattern of last year when we signed him was very similar. We took him on just before the deadline, and he'd played a number of games pre-season and what have you, and he'd done it again this time. And he played in the match against Manchester United on the opening day. Obviously played against us and scored. And I remember the look on his face when he was being interviewed after the match as man of the match with his captain. And his captain said something, and the look on Jay Stansfield's face was horrified. He'd said something that obviously that wasn't true. So my hopes were getting higher and higher and higher, and eventually, and I think the last minute, 2 minutes to 11, and Sky News are flashing up Birmingham City side Jay Stansfield like it done. Then I'm afraid that was a bit of showboating by our owners. And I don't blame them for that. Why not? Why not? Let's keep it exciting, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm sure everybody is to see him back. Now, we also signed on deadline day. A bit earlier was Towito Iwata. Now, nobody's ever heard of this guy unless you're a mad Celtic supporter. But I did a bit of homework on him, and lo and behold, I found a match where he played and scored. It was Hearts. Hearts 1, Celtic 4. And this guy, I think he missed a penalty, but he scored. And the match featured our man Cochrane, who was, I think, was booked for kicking him. But anyway, it turns out that this boy can play, and that's another coup. And to add to that, Scott Wright from Rangers, a proper wide player. We don't call them wingers anymore. Proper wide player, and the rest is history. He played on. He came on a sub on Saturday with the stubborn Wigan defence holding out against the battering we were giving them, and combined with Clara in the box and smashed home the winner in the first minute of injury time. What's not to love? Oh, I mean, I got to be honest. I felt it, it was the first game I've been able to go to St Andrews, so that match had cost technically that match had cost me over £270. Um, but hey, well worth it. I walked back to the station, and I don't remember the trip. I walked into New Street and looked at the board, got on the wrong train, and had to get off in Birmingham International and wait for the proper train. And it was all passing me by. I was gone. I was gone, and I hadn't had a drop to drink. Um, so I had a good weekend, and then of course we have this match against Walsall in the EFL Trophy. Mm. And we are robbed of about 9 players for various reasons, and we make 8 changes to that team, and we include Stansfield and Watto and Scott Wright, and they, apart from Watto, the other two disappointed. Um, but we should have beaten Warsaw comfortably. We had 80% of the play, and we lost this ridiculous penalty shootout at the end. But that's the fact the match was drawn. Um, and inevitably, this morning I'm looking at my phone and there's criticism and we're crap and blah 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 blah. Boys, grow up. Now, the only thing worse than people moaning at the first sight of a setback is people reacting to those people and moaning about their moaning. So let's shall we cut it out? Shall we just cut it out? It doesn't help anybody. Sure, you of course you have a right to your opinion and a right to criticise, but there's a difference in saying the result against Warsaw was very disappointing and saying we were crap. Well, we weren't. We weren't at all. Um, yes, we didn't create enough chances with our possession. I'll say that. We didn't create enough chances with the possession. Not we were crap. That's just outburst. And it upsets people who then reply in the same way. And so you get this battery of nonsense. Discuss the problem. Yeah, you watched the game. Tell us what you saw. And don't just bleat out 4 or 5 words. Uh, and especially if you're criticising certain players, that's not good at all. You can be general if you like, but criticising players, no, 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 no. Please, please, please. Let's keep ourselves as a community. Yes, we can talk. We listen to the Tilton talk show on a Monday night, and there's 7 of us, and we don't agree with each other. We don't keep calling each other names, you know. We just like me. I say, well, see, I told you I was right, which happens more often than not. But that doesn't make me dislike my colleagues, and it doesn't make me shout at them that they are talking to their rear ends because they're not. They're giving their opinion. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to Saturday when everything in the garden was absolutely juicy, rosy, or whatever. Um, we opened the scoring, and with the Wigan defence waving at the linesman for offside. No, he wasn't. There was a bloke who moved forward trying to play him offside, but he did it too late. And Alfie May again, Jimmy Greaves. Jimmy Greaves reincarnate took the ball up to the keeper, slotted it past him. 1-0. We must, we looked like we were going to start a riot basically, but it wasn't to be. we can have all the possession on earth, and if the defence is competent and puts up a wall, then it's difficult to score. Now then, we went in half time 1-0. The 27,500 crowd cheering from the rooftops and whatever. And to be fair, Wigan in the second half started pretty well and put us under a bit of pressure. Now we curtailed that pressure. We mopped it up without any problem at all. And then their guy has a decent shot. I mean, it was on target and it travelled 20 odd yards. And our goalkeeper let it through his legs. I mean, goodness me. You cannot. Now, that doesn't make him crap. It makes him unfortunate, right? He made a mistake. Not the first he's made, but he did. And fair play to the more knowledgeable um, supporters. Nobody got onto him. Their supporters did a bit, but everybody backed everybody. You know that you could see the players. They weren't bawling and shouting at him and calling him names. They were comforting him and encouraging him and so on. And the rest. I mean, the rest of the game was perfect. He just threw one in. It happens. Now we can argue till we're blue in the face that he should play in the next game. Well, he couldn't play in the next game anyway because he's on international duty, and he was replaced by uh, Ryan Allsop against Warsaw, who had faultless game. He got beaten once uh, by a shot that would have beaten any goalkeeper, and the build up to that was a bad mistake by Kayla. Uh, hey, so we can discuss Mr. Uh, our goalkeeper till the end of the day, and it ain't our decision whether he stays in or comes off. Now, personally, my opinion is that Ryan Allsop is the better keeper. He doesn't make me tremble. He doesn't make mistakes. He's the only keeper we've had this season to keep a clean sheet, and but that's my opinion, and I ain't paid to give it. So take from it whatever you like. There is a 12-day gap before our next game when we take on the mighty Wrexham. Now, this will be a sellout. It's on TV, so I won't be able to get to it. And, you know, the value of my game on Saturday will remain at £270 for a month. Then another month, I get to see us play again. Thank you very much. Now then, where are we going? We come to the international break. It's usually a signpost. You know, where are we? Well, we're top of the league. What's the problem? We're well in a position to qualify for the next phase of the EFL Cup. You know, we've got Fulham's kids and Shrewsbury. Now, if we fail to qualify from after those two games, well, then so be it. Don't we want to win that thing? You know, we want a day out at Wembley and all the rest of it. But it has to be earned. People ain't going to give it us. And fair play to Warsaw for their performance on Tuesday night. They defended like Trojans. I mean, they defended for 80 minutes of the 90 and managed 6 shots to our 26. It happens. It happens. So, now then, what are we going to do about the Tilton Talk Show? what about we're going to do with Watto's Weekly? It's Wednesday, so it's Watto. So next week, I will comment on the England game with a all Birmingham backup staff, Lee Carsley and Ashley Cole in charge. Um, he hasn't picked a very imaginative side, has he? And he's already had about 3 or 4 dropouts. So, uh, depending on what happens, um, I shall make some sort of comments about it. But next week, I'm going to be doing one of my specials where we talk about football in the past, and this one's going to be concentrated on the 90s, uh, which was a very interesting time for Birmingham City, particularly from the depths of gates of under 5,000 to basically being in the playoffs every year and the place being filled up with records, attendances, and a record receipts from games. So I look forward to that. No Tilton Talk show on Monday. And the following one will be after the Wrexham game on Tuesday. Don't miss them. And I'll see you next week. It's Wednesday. It'll be Watto. God bless you all.